In 1951, a psychologist showed a group of people two cards, and one line was so obviously longer that people answering alone got it right more than 99% of the time. But in his experiment, 75% of people denied what their own eyes were seeing, out loud, at least once. Not because they couldn't see, because everyone else in the room confidently said the wrong answer first. This is the Asch conformity experiment, and unlike half the psychology on your feed, this one is real. It replicates, and it is running on you right now. Stay to the end, because hidden in the data is one lever that collapses the entire effect, and you can be that lever as early as tomorrow. Swarthmore College, Pennsylvania, 1951. A psychologist named Solomon Asch invites students to a simple vision test. You show up, and there are 7 or 8 other guys already seated around the table. What you don't know is that every single one of them is an actor, hired and scripted by Asch. You are the only real participant in the room, and the entire show is for you. The task could not be easier. The experimenter holds up 2 cards. One card has a single line, the other has 3 lines labeled A, B, and C. Your job is to say, out loud, which of the 3 lines matches the first one. And it is not subtle. Alone, people got this right more than 99% of the time. The first couple of rounds, everything is normal. Everyone gives the obvious answer, including you. You relax. Easiest study ever. Then, on the 3rd card, the first actor looks straight at an obviously wrong line and picks it with total confidence. Then the second actor agrees with him. Then the 3rd. Then the 4th. One by one, calm and certain, the entire room lines up on an answer your eyes are screaming is wrong. And now it's your turn. Asch's write-ups describe what happened to real participants in that seat, and it is honestly painful to read. People leaned forward and squinted. They rubbed their eyes. Some half stood up to check the cards from another angle. They laughed nervously. They hesitated. They sweated over a question a child could answer. Because the problem was never their vision. The problem was that their eyes and the group were giving 2 different answers, and one of them had to be called a liar. Out of 18 rounds, 12 were rigged like this, with the whole room unanimously wrong. 12 separate chances to either trust your own eyeballs or fold. And before you scoff at these people, be honest, you have sat in this seat before. Maybe not with line cards, but in a meeting, a group chat, a dinner table where everyone agreed and you didn't. So what did people actually do when the room went unanimous against reality? That's Act 2, and the numbers still hold up more than 70 years later. On the rigged rounds, roughly 1/3 of all answers, around 32 to 37%, depending on how you slice the trials, went with the group instead of the participants' own eyes. And about 75% of participants conformed at least once across the session. Now let me be precise here, because this stat gets butchered constantly. 75% did not always cave. Most answers overall were still independent. 75% caved at least one time, and roughly 1/4 of people never conformed at all, not once. So this is not humans or sheep. This is 3 out of 4 otherwise sharp people can be pushed to deny their own senses at least once, which, if anything, is scarier. So why? Why would a person with working eyes say the wrong line out loud? When Asch talked to people afterward, 2 different machines were running. Machine 1, normative pressure. Some people knew the group was wrong and went along anyway because being the odd one out feels physically bad. They didn't change their minds, they changed their mouths. Machine 2 is sneakier, informational pressure. Some people genuinely started doubting their own eyes. They figured 7 people can't all be wrong, so maybe I'm the broken instrument here. And here's the part I need you to sit with. Your brain treats a unanimous group as evidence, not as noise, not as peer pressure, as data. For most of human history, if everyone in your tribe said don't drink from that river, the conformists lived and the mavericks got dysentery. Copying the group is not a character flaw. It's a survival feature that ships with the hardware, which is exactly why you cannot just decide to be immune to it. And no, this is not some dusty 1950s finding that quietly died in the replication crisis. A large modern replication published in 2023 found an error rate around 33% on the group trials. Basically, Asch's number on people with smartphones. A meta-analysis by Bond and Smith pooled dozens of Asch-style line studies and found average conformity around 25%. Lower in some cultures, higher in others, but showing up basically everywhere they looked. It has shown up in Japan. It has shown up in Bosnia. Different decades, different borders, same poll. Because the line cards are just the lab version, In real life, the lines are, is this plan actually good? Is this joke actually okay? Is this take actually true? And the more ambiguous the question, the harder the group's answer pulls. Every meeting where a bad idea sailed through because nobody wanted to go first. Every group chat where one loud take became what everyone thinks in about 9 minutes. Every comment section where the ratio decided your opinion before you finished the video. That's the Asch experiment running in the wild, minus the cards. So if a unanimous room can bend what you literally see, what chance does your opinion stand? A great one, actually, because Asch also found the off switch, and it is smaller than you think. Here is the variation almost nobody quotes, and it's the whole reason I made this video. Asch reran the experiment with one change. A single actor in the group told the truth. Just one. Everyone else still confidently wrong. But now you have one ally who says what your eyes see. Conformity collapsed, from roughly 32% of answers down to around 5%. One voice wiped out most of the effect. Not a majority, not half the room. One. And it gets weirder, in the best possible way. In later research building on Asch, the ally didn't even need to be credible. In one famous variation, the dissenter wore thick glasses and made a point of saying he could barely see the cards. A visually impaired ally on a vision task, and conformity still dropped sharply. Not quite as much as with a credible ally, but the spell still cracked. Because the ally was never really giving you information about the lines. The ally breaks unanimity, and unanimity is the entire engine. The moment the group's answer stops being wall-to-wall, your brain gets permission to believe itself again. It stops being me versus everyone and becomes a disagreement, and you can survive a disagreement. Even a wrong dissenter helps. In related studies, an ally who gave a different wrong answer still freed people to give their own. And in some versions, when the ally deserted halfway through and rejoined the majority, conformity climbed right back up. The protection was never inside the person, it was the crack in the wall. So here's the reframe I want stapled to your brain. You have been telling yourself you need to convince the whole room. You don't. You need to be or find one voice. Move one, speak first when you can. In a meeting, the first dissenting voice is worth 10 agreeing ones later, because you just made honesty affordable for everyone else in the room. You are not causing conflict. You are running the Asch ally protocol. Move two, if you can't go first, go second, fast. When someone says the brave true thing and the room goes quiet, back them within seconds. A dissenter with an ally is a faction. Alone, they're a target. Move three, lock in your answer before you hear the group. Write down your estimate, your opinion, your call, before the discussion starts. Follow-up research on conformity found people hold judgments far better when they commit to them independently first. Move four, audit your unanimous rooms. If everyone you talk to agrees on everything, you are not in a community. You are in a line card experiment with better lighting. Deliberately keep one honest friend who will tell you when the line is shorter. And online, remember the ratio is a rigged room. You are seeing the loudest voices, sorted by an algorithm, not a real vote count. None of this requires you to be fearless. The dissenter in the study wasn't a hero. He was just a guy saying what he saw. Being right alone is uncomfortable for a few seconds. Being wrong together can cost you years. And somewhere in your office, your group chat, your family, someone is staring at the cards right now, waiting for one voice to make the truth speakable. Be the one voice. That's it. That's the cheat code a 1951 experiment handed you for free. So this week, say the true thing first once, back one brave person fast, and write your answer down before the room votes. I'm Atlas, and if this just gave your eyeballs their vote back, subscribe to Mindset Mechanics, because I would rather be your one honest ally than your eighth nodding actor.